I had never heard of Wim Hof until about 2 years ago, and I was doing a Tony Robbins seminar, and Tony Robbins must be a Wim Hof enthusiast because he does a cold plunge every morning, and he said it makes him feel fantastic. So during the workshop, they had a little video clip of Wim Hof, and he was a very animated guy, and I remember thinking, this guy looks kind of interesting, but then I didn't think about him again. A month or two later, I heard a radio program, and this journalist was doing an investigative report trying to kind of debunk Wim Hof and point out that maybe his methods are radical. The journalist became a Wim Hof enthusiast, so his investigative report turned into like him discovering an incredible thing that helped him in his life. And he even went mountain climbing with Wim Hof by the end of the radio story. So that really piqued my interest. After that, I was living in Connecticut. It was the winter time in the US, very cold. And I met some women that were coming out of the sea in Connecticut, and it was 0 Celsius outside. And I said to them, you know, isn't that too cold? What are you doing? They said, no, this feels fantastic. We do it 2 or 3 times a week. But still, I was afraid of cold water, so I wasn't interested, and nobody was coming to me saying, hey, come do this Wim Hof workshop, until I met Oscar. And then that's when I finally said, aha, maybe I will, you know, give this a shot and see what there is to this. I was feeling pretty good with my health overall, but I had just moved from the US to Spain, which was a big move, a big adjustment for me. And my girlfriend, who was Spanish, she and I went through a breakup right before the workshop. We went through a difficult breakup and then reunited. So I was feeling very out of my element, and my life was not very steady or stable. I felt kind of, you know, like a loss of confidence in myself at that time. So yeah, I was a little bit in a tricky spot in my life. Not really. The only thing I had done prior to this was some guided meditation and some yoga. Not a lot of yoga, but in the yoga they did a little bit of breath work, but nothing as, you know, focused on breath work as the Wim Hof method is. I was surprised by 2 things. One, I had a tremendous fear of going into cold water. I don't know if this is from childhood, but especially the idea of sitting in like freezing cold water, I was terrified of it. And it turned out to be not so bad. After all of the breath work and the preparation, I actually enjoyed being in the cold water for a couple of minutes. It still took a little, you know, effort and bravery, but that surprised me. The second thing that surprised me was how good I felt after everything, the breath work and the cold plunge. All day long, I felt like just like a buzzing energy in my body. So I felt really good after. So that was the second biggest surprise. Right after was, we did it with 2 people at the same time. So we were kind of playing off each other's energy. The young woman who was next to me, she was like overwhelmed with joy. And that was sort of infecting me. So I was feeling her joy. I was feeling happy. I couldn't help but smile. I felt really proud that I had like faced my fear and overcome it. But we were doing a horse dance and we were giggling and smiling at each other. And I just felt like a overwhelming feeling of joy, energized. I just felt fantastic. I think the biggest thing for me is I felt like I got my confidence back, because I had been feeling kind of unstable, uncertain, but just facing that fear, that really helped me a lot to feel like, hey, I can take on something like this that was one of my biggest fears, going into this freezing water, that, hey, I could take on these other challenges and everything's going to be okay in my life. And the physical effects of it also were helpful. It was like a reset. I discovered or rediscovered this sort of fearlessness, that trying something new, try something different and see how it goes. Don't be afraid of something. So maybe this overcoming fear, that strength inside of me, maybe also just like, learning in the workshop that our bodies are these sort of miraculous things, and we're meant to have these kinds of experiences that put us outside of our comfort zone. So those are a couple of the things I discovered. I remember that day in particular. It was a Sunday, so the workshop was in the morning, and like I went through the day like I felt fantastic, and other people could notice. It's like, hey, what happened to you? And I was telling everybody about the experience. I don't remember specifically how I felt in the days after, because it was some months ago, but I think it was pretty good. I know since then I've done multiple more cold plunges, and the feeling does last, So I know that for days after, when I do a cold plunge and breath work, I'm feeling great. And I think it's made a big change in my life that's maybe permanent. So that's for sure. I do, in that every morning now, instead of just taking another warm shower, I do a cold shower, or at least for a good part of the shower. And that like just energizes me every time. So I start off the day this way. I'm feeling great with that. I do a little bit of breath work during my meditation, my daily meditation. So yeah, I feel good. It gives me this confidence that's sticking with me, that I overcame that. I can face other challenges in my life. Definitely do it. If you're somebody who has, like I did, you have a fear of this cold plunge, it's not bad, and you'll be surprised that you might enjoy it. And then secondly, the breath work is really, that alone is worthwhile. It makes you feel fantastic. Your whole body is buzzing, it's energized, you're joyful. It's a fantastic experience. I highly recommend it to everybody. I would say fun. It was great. We had a group of people that were a lot of fun, joyful. We were laughing, giggling, having fun. And third, energizing. You feel like fantastic after going through this experience. You feel like you're ready to take on the world, or go for a run, or take a bicycle ride. So yeah, fun, joyful, energizing. Yeah, it means that my body can take more than what I thought it could. Like I could never have imagined sitting in freezing cold water for 3 minutes and being peaceful and relaxed and not fighting to get out. So I know that my body is stronger than I thought it was, and that I am stronger than I thought I was. So that is probably the biggest thing I took out of it. I also learned that, our bodies are made for this, and we should go through these kinds of things, and that we're missing out in the way we live today when we don't. We're in a air-conditioned office, or always trying to be comfortable, and it's not what our bodies were made to do. We're made, to get out there.